Herkese günaydın tekrardan. Bugün Be My Speakmate yani konuşma arkadaşım olur musun projesinin son 4 oturumunu gerçekleştireceğiz. Mundaytal 2021 konferanslarımızı gerçekleştiriyorduk. E, Program bundan sonraki kısmını İngilizce devam edeceğiz sayın dinleyenler. Good morning to all of you. Today we are doing the final sessions of our project, Be My Speakmate. For this aim, we are acting and Moondital 2021 conference on disarmament and international security. From the last session, we had a technical issue, so today we are going to start from where we left. So I am leaving the floor for our students. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, teacher. The House will now come to order. We are starting the formal session with the roll call. Delegates are reminded to raise their hands, and the delegates are reminded to raise their hands when their country's name is called. The response was present or present and voting. Afghanistan.
Present.
Australia.
Present.
Brazil. Bulgaria. Canada. China.
Present.
Denmark. Egypt.
Present.
France.
Present.
Germany. Greece. Hungary. India.
Present.
Iran. Israel.
Present.
Japan. Republic of South Korea.
Present.
Netherlands. New Zealand. Norway.
Present.
Pakistan.
Present.
Poland.
Present.
Romania. Russian
Present.
Federation.
Present.
Saudi Arabia.
Present.
Sweden.
Present.
Turkmenistan. Ukraine.
Present.
United Kingdom.
Present.
United States of America. With the roll call, any delegates which did not hear their name, please raise your hand now. Seems none. Now we are starting the session with the general speakers list. Are there any delegates who are wishing to add their name to the general speakers list? Please raise your hands now. China. Followed by. If there is not, we are choosing randomly. France. South Korea.
Romania.
And
Romania.
Norway. Pakistan. That's it for now. As promised, China, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. We are thanking all delegates for their efforts, but we still need new ideas. There are some topics we need to discuss upon, but together we can do it. Best of luck.
Thank you, dear delegate. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
and we are yielding our time to the chair.
Thank you. As promised, France, you've been recognized. You have the
Thank
floor.
you, Chair. In our last session, we talked about many problems and offer solutions to them. France is progressing in accordance with the treaties and laws it has signed. This is why we support the peaceful use of nuclear weapons. We adhere to the principle of competence. In the principle of qualification, we recommend that other countries adhere to this principle. We want to get the opinions of all countries on the issues discussed and to hear their suggestions for solutions on the issues discussed. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
We use our time to chair.
Thank you. Republic of South Korea, you've been recognized. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. We think that we need to work on our working papers from now on after we have a 5-minute moderated caucus to add things to the paper. We also think that we should encourage the usage of nuclear plants and energy. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
We would like to yield it back to the chair.
Thank you. As promised, Romania. The floor is
Thank you,
yours.
Chair. As Romanian state, we want the destruction of nuclear weapons, and we are concerned about the damage that may result from the use of nuclear weapons. We have terminated our nuclear weapon program since 1989, and we expect the same action from other United Nations members. We must take all necessary precautions and keep our fast against nuclear dangers. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
We would like to yield our time to the chair.
Thank you. The floor is once again open. Are there any motions?
Motion.
Motion, Russia.
Motion to discuss about possible solutions.
Thank you. Total time?
7 minutes.
Individual speaking time?
1 minute.
Thank you, dear delegate. Any other motions? Seems none. We are voting upon the motion given by Russian Federation. Are there any seconds to this motion? Are there any objections? Please raise your hand. Seems none. This motion clearly passes. As the proposer of this motion, Russia, would you like to be the first or the last speaker?
Last.
Thank you. Are there any delegates who are wishing to speak upon this motion? Please raise your hand now. South Korea, followed by China, followed by Sweden,
Pakistan,
Pakistan, I guess that's it. As promised, South Korea. You may speak now.
Thank you, Chair. We would like to suggest the usage of nuclear byproducts in military assets. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. China, you may speak now.
Thank you, Chair. We'd like to talk about insurgencies and non-state terrorist groups. Insurgencies and non-state terrorist groups are similar things in our eyes. Setting off a nuclear warhead is much more complicated than a hand grenade. It needs decades of research. Our concern should be about securing the warheads, but we think every country that possesses nuclear weapons are already aware of this and taking actions accordingly. Thank you.
And thank you, dear delegate. As promised, Sweden, you may speak now.
Thank you. Now, nuclear weapons have a potential danger, and this danger level can't be ignored. If countries stock nuclear weapons, we think they must inform us about their nuclear program. They must introduce an annual report. This report must contain up-to-date number of nuclear weapons, informations of their nuclear tests. Countries who have nuclear weapons but didn't any nuclear attack in the past, we can show privilege to them, but other countries have to inform us. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. As promised, Pakistan, you may speak now.
Thank you, Chair. We think about how can be less use of nuclear weapons, but don't forget we should use nuclear weapons for security. We got a new solution. There are differences between the use of nuclear energy and weapons in our world, but there is also a difference between the use of conventional weapons. This is important. So if other countries will support our countries or equalize to all countries, thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. Are there any delegates who are wishing to speak upon this motion given by Russian Federation? Please raise your hand now. China, Russia.
That was a mistake. We do not want to speak.
Okay. Any other delegates who are wishing to speak upon this motion? Please raise your hands now. After this motion, moderated caucus, we are starting now moderation, so you can write anything you didn't say on the resolution paper. So, Russian Federation, you may speak now.
Thank you, Chair Ward. First of all, the nuclear weapon states possessing the largest nuclear arsenals bear special responsibility for nuclear disarmament. They should continue to reduce drastically their respective nuclear arsenals on the principle of irreversibility. And second of all, we should work with the International Atomic Energy Agency and send more safety guards to countries that has nuclear power plants. And third of all, we should make a deal about setting a limit to uranium stockpile to P5+1 countries, and we should get information every month or every year. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. Are there any delegates who are wishing to speak upon this motion? Please raise your hands now.
Seems none.
Russian Federation. Russian Federation, you may speak now.
Not only P5+1 countries, but all of the countries that have nuclear power plants. So we can control the uranium stockpile around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegate. Are there any delegates who are wishing to speak upon this motion? Please raise your hand now. Seems there are none. We are waiting for a specific motion to end the current caucus. Are there any motions?
Motion Russia.
Russian Federation, are you going to speak upon
motion.
this motion?
That was not a motion. We have one more to say.
Okay, you can speak now.
All the nuclear weapon states should support the efforts to establish nuclear weapon-free zones, respect the status of those zones, and assume the relevant obligations. Thank you, Chair Ward.
Thank you, delegate. Are there any other speakers who want to speak upon this motion? Please raise your hand now. Seems none. We are waiting for a specific motion to end the current caucus. Are there any motions?
Motion.
Motion for Russian Federation.
Motion to terminate current caucus.
Thank you. Are there any seconds?
14, 15.
Are there any objections? Seems none, this motion terminated. The floor is once again open. We are moving with the general speakers list. As promised, Norway, you've been recognized. You have the floor. Norway.
We thanked all delegates for their speeches, and we encourage all the delegates to give their opinions about working paper and resolution paper. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
We would like to yield our time back to the chair.
Thank you. As promised, Pakistan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. We thanks all countries for offering solution, and thank you.
Thank you. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
Would you like to yield the floor to Chair?
Thank you. Are there any delegates who are wishing to speak on general speakers list? Please raise your hand now. Sweden. Followed by Sweden, followed by Egypt.
Followed by Poland.
That's it for now. As promised, Sweden, you've been recognized. You have the floor.
The nuclear energy has advantages, and we should use that instead of nuclear weapons destructive side. Nuclear energy and nuclear reactors need to be in common. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. What would you like to do with your remaining time?
I would like to yield the floor to chair.
Thank you. The floor is once again open. Are there any motions on the floor?
Motion.
Motion South Korea.
Motion South Korea.
We would like to raise a motion from unmoderated caucus to finish our working papers. Total time being 20 minutes. That's it.
Thank you, delegate. Are there any other motions? Seems none. We are voting upon the motion given by South Korea. Are there any seconds to this motion? Are there any objections? Are there any objections? Seems none. This motion clearly passes. Now you're in unmoderated caucus for 20 minutes.
Okay. So, does everybody have the link, or should I just share it again? I wrote some preambulatory clauses, but I also expect your help. But I could have missed, so.
Okay, everyone. So who said their solutions in moderate caucus? That makes sense. Please write that down to me or South Korea.
Yes, please, because we need them to write operative clauses. We're not in the operative clauses right now, but also, if you have anything to add to the preambulatory clauses, I would also appreciate that. Or correcting me. You could also add a statistic about like the nuclear weapons impacts, So you can just write it down to me and I will add it, or you can just add it. If no one has anything to add, I will have to move into the operative. Oh, okay. No, you can't do that.
I know. I'm just
Can you just
writing.
write it down to me? Because it is kind of confusing.
Okay.
And when you write it down to me, please make sure that you're using operative clause for it. Like write it in a resolution format. Can every delegate open the preambulatory clauses and read them and just think of a past action taken on this topic, or an information?
Isn't 6 enough?
Uh,
Like how much more do we need?
If you can add a couple, 1 or 2 maybe.
Does anyone have anything to add to the preambulatory clauses? I'm asking again. If not, we will have to move into the operative clauses.
We are working on our operative classes.
Okay, then we're wasting our time. Just, can you write it down to me, like direct message? Your operative clauses.
It's not finished yet.
Okay.
I'm still writing it.
Guys, please don't just stare or wait till something happen by itself. Please write I don't know, write something. If it's right or wrong, you'll correct it later.
Actually, we were talking in direct message too for operative clauses. Okay, we are moving into the operative clauses. The second one is, by the way, China's solution. I will credit them. And the first one is Russia's solution. Okay, I added the urges because there already is a safety guard for nuclear explosive materials. So is fifth one's China's solution? The delegation
Yes.
of okay, did you um did you talked about it in a moderated caucus about the task forces?
Uh, I don't think so, no.
Okay, then you can delete it, and then we can open a
Okay.
moderated caucus, and then we are going to work on our draft resolutions. That's why. Okay, so for now, this is a weird. Okay.
Delegates, you have 3 minutes, 2 minutes left. Would you like to do an extension or give another caucus?
We would like an extension.
We can't.
Oh,
No, we can't. Okay.
we can.
You can. Your time is up. The floor is once again open. Are there any motions?
Motion.
Motion South Korea.
Motion for an extension.
You can extend it right now. The last motion finished. You can give another motion, unmoderated motion.
Okay.
Are there any motions?
Motion.
Motion South Korea.
Motion for non-moderated caucus. No, 10 minutes.
Thank you, but we can do that right now. We have 4 minutes left until the session is over. I'm thinking about ending the session.
A motion.
Motion China.
Motion to discuss about a possible task force. Total time being 3 minutes. Individual time being 1 minute.
Thank you, delegate, but we can take motions right now. We have 3 minutes left.
Well,
Okay,
we can do it
motion.
in 2 minutes.
Motion South Korea.
Motion for the suspension of this meeting.
Are there any seconds to South Korea's motion?
Ten seconds.
Are there any objections?
I'm sorry, 11.
Seems none. This meeting has been suspended. Afghanistan, what would you like to say? The formal session has ended, guys.
O zaman Türkçe konuşabilir miyiz?
Yes.
Mr. Rage.
Tamam.
Nasıl geçti bu session'ınız?
Bence iyi gidiyoruz bu arada.
Çok sessiz
Yazacak
duruyorsunuz.
çok
Yazdığımız için o yüzden sessiz
Oo,
oluyoruz.
aynen.
Bir de China'nın motion'u kabul edin. Onu geçirmemiz gerekiyor. Paper'a.
Önümüzdeki session kabul ederiz ama son 4 dakika.
Burası kapanıyor mu şu an şimdi?
Hı hı.
Yes.
Çıkalım ben.
Bu arada mesela bir tane unmod açtınız, süresi bitti. Bittiği an hemen motion deyip süresini extend yapabilirsiniz.
Eda, bir kez daha neden Türkçe konuştuğumuzu açıklar mısın? YouTube'da canlı
Formal
oldu.
session bitti şu an.
Tamamdır.
Session'ı bitirdik. İşte ondan sonra ama verebileceğiniz extend süresi önceki motion süresini geçmeyecek. 20 dakikalık verdiyseniz extend'e 19 dakikalık verebiliyorsunuz.
Dear students, can you hear me? Okay, for the next session, we will be back here 11:30. So see you for now. I am ending this session.